Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt mentally safe? Not happy, not successful, just calm. No explaining yourself, no defending your choices, no reacting to someone else's mood, just quiet. Here's the truth most people never hear. Your mental health doesn't break from big disasters. It breaks from constant noise, from conversations you didn't want, from opinions you didn't ask for, from emotional battles you didn't need to fight. And today, I want to show you how silence, real silence, isn't weakness, it's protection. Why this video matters now. We live in a world that rewards loudness, loud opinions, loud confidence, loud reactions. If you don't respond fast, people assume something is wrong. If you don't explain yourself, people feel entitled to answers. If you go quiet, you're labeled distant, cold, or arrogant. But psychology shows something different. Silence isn't absence. Silence is control. And the people who protect their mental health the longest aren't the loudest in the room. They're the ones who know when not to speak. The hidden cost of constant talking. Most people don't realize this, but talking drains energy. Not meaningful conversation, but reactive conversation. Explaining yourself to people who already decided. Defending boundaries you already set. Engaging in arguments where no one is listening. Every time you do that, your nervous system stays activated. Your body thinks you're under threat. Heart rate up, mind racing, emotional exhaustion setting in. That's why after certain interactions, you feel tired, even if nothing bad happened. Silence stops that cycle, because silence sends a message to your brain. I am safe right now. Silence versus suppression. Now let's be clear, silence is not suppression. Suppression is when you swallow emotions and punish yourself internally. Silence is when you choose not to feed chaos externally. One hurts you, the other protects you. Emotionally mature people don't explain everything they feel. They process privately. They speak selectively. They respond intentionally. They understand that not every emotion deserves an audience. Why silence makes people uncomfortable? Here's something interesting. When you stay silent, people get uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because silence removes control. Noise is predictable, silence isn't. Silence forces others to sit with their own thoughts, their own insecurity, their own assumptions. That's why people rush to fill quiet moments. They talk, they overshare, they explain too much. And the calmer you stay, the more grounded you feel. Silence protects you from emotional manipulation. Manipulation feeds on reaction. Guilt only works if you respond. Provocation only works if you engage. Drama only survives with participation. Silence starves it. When you don't react immediately, you interrupt emotional control. You give yourself time to think instead of react. And that pause, that space, is where your mental health is protected. The nervous system needs quiet. Your nervous system wasn't designed for constant stimulation. Messages, notifications, arguments, opinions. Silence gives your body a reset. Your breathing slows. Your thoughts settle. Your stress hormones drop. This is why people feel calmer on walks, in early mornings, or late at night. It's not the time, it's the quiet. Silence builds inner authority. People with strong inner authority don't rush to speak. They don't interrupt. They don't overjustify. They don't chase validation. They let their presence speak first. And ironically, the less you speak, the more weight your words carry. Because silence filters impulse. What remains is clarity. Why you don't owe everyone an explanation. Here's a hard truth that protects your mental health. You don't owe everyone access to your thoughts. You don't owe long explanations for boundaries. You don't owe emotional labor to people who drain you. You don't owe closure to those who created chaos. Silence is a boundary without conflict. It says, I choose peace over proving a point. Silence helps you hear yourself again. When life gets loud, you lose connection with yourself. You start reacting instead of choosing. You start pleasing instead of listening. You start explaining instead of understanding. Silence reconnects you. It allows your intuition to surface, your values to clarify, your priorities to realign. In silence, you remember who you are without the noise of expectations. Silence isn't withdrawal, it's alignment. Some people will say, you've changed. What they really mean is, you no longer react the way I expect. Silence doesn't mean you care less, it means you care differently. You protect your energy, you choose your battles, you invest attention where it's reciprocated. That's not distance, That's alignment. Practical ways to use silence daily. Here are simple ways to use silence as mental protection. Pause before responding to emotional messages. Don't explain decisions that are already final. Step back from conversations that go in circles. Let people reveal themselves through their behavior. Create daily quiet time. No input, no noise. Silence doesn't require effort. It requires restraint. Silence as self-respect. Self-respect isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't argue. It doesn't beg to be understood. It simply exists. Silence says, I trust myself enough not to react. And that trust is calming. Why this feels hard at first. At first, silence feels uncomfortable. You'll feel guilty, restless, like you're doing something wrong. That's conditioning. You were taught to respond, explain, fix, engage, but peace doesn't come from engagement. It comes from discernment. And once you experience the calm silence brings, you'll protect it fiercely. Silence creates emotional freedom. When you stop reacting to everything, you stop being controlled by everything. Your mood stabilizes, your thoughts slow down, your emotions feel less overwhelming. That's emotional freedom. Not because life is quieter, but because you are. Silence won't make your life perfect, but it will make it lighter. You'll sleep better, think clearer, feel steadier. And the more you choose silence, the less chaos can reach you. Because peace doesn't shout, it waits quietly until you're ready to protect it. If this resonated with you, take a moment to sit in silence today. No noise, no explanation, just you. That's where mental health begins.